There it is. Happy Halloween. Look at this. It's a Monday night. Only one of us is really working tonight. Thank you. Cruise ship casual. Old guy on a boat is what I went for tonight. It was the easiest thing I had in my closet. This shirt actually used to fit me about 15 years and a half body ago.
Get out of
I used to fill this thing out. So at this point now, I should probably have somebody knit me a pillow out of this or something. There's enough going on here. Big Joe could wear this shirt.
Yeah,
That's something I should do. Donate this to the radio team.
He probably couldn't button it down.
No, it's all right.
Probably couldn't button it.
Casual, open, let the thing air out. Michael Grady, Brad Brown, Horseplay here Monday night, RTV6 app, Facebook Live. If you're logging on, log in. Join the show. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want. And we're going to try and make something of this here as the Colts are halfway through their regular season now. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's more, I don't know. They got a bye week coming up. I think that's probably the best part of this.
Yeah, that is the
coming
best
out of the thing
part.
here.
That is the best part.
KC 30-16 yesterday. The Colts with, glimmers of hope here and there to see this thing come together. Interesting early, a couple of good plays late. And then it's always funny how we've done this all season. On these games, you can look at about 3 plays that this whole game seems to come down to, and it's that. And and we might talk all we want about these guys saying we're close and keep working and we're chopping wood and watch the tape and all that. The fact is, it's actually kind of like that. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. There's a reason why good teams make plays and bad teams don't make plays. There's a reason why good teams don't shoot themselves in the foot and bad teams do shoot themselves in the foot. And so the Colts have an identity crisis a little bit right now. They still think that they're the team of 2 years ago that reached the AFC Championship game. The truth is they're not. And they're going to cling on to that glimmer of hope, especially being in a division where it doesn't seem like anybody's going to run away with it. So they're going to cling on to that hope until the bitter end. Will it work out in their favor? We'll find out at some point. Maybe we'll find out. But I think we already know the answer to that. They have some good players, enough to make things interesting from time to time, but they have enough bad, if you will.
Yeah. Becky's calling for a new coach. They're already calling for a new coach. Becky says new coach. Let's see, David, what you think about coaching changes, not just head coach?
That's the tough question. And for those Colts fans that are watching right now, really think about this. If you do get rid of Chuck Pagano, if you do get rid of Ryan Griggs, and all things that I would certainly agree with, I think this team needs a culture shift.
Sure.
How much faith do you have in Jim Irsay to make the right choice on their successors? He chose both Ryan Griggs and he chose Chuck Pagano. He did choose Bill Polian and Tony Dungy, so there's been some good in there. But at this point, how much faith do you have in Jim Irsay to find the right guys to carry on the torch and turn this thing around? That's really a question.
That's a valid question. If you're watching us here, chime in. What do you think? Is Irsay the guy? Is it Mr. Irsay? Should it be one of the next generation, perhaps? That it's time to, time to let the girls make some big decisions, perhaps, at this point, and see where it's going, because it's Irsay's team from the top down, regardless. Everybody keeps calling for Manning. Peyton Manning's not going to be your coach. Just let it go for now. It's just not a thing. I'm sorry. Josh makes a good point, though, that it sucks seeing them do terrible like this. And that's a good point. Hey, Colts fans, aside from the one season that Manning was out, you got to go back a long ways before. We were talking about this last night. You go back a long ways where we get to November with this team, and they're just muddled in obscurity right now, just kind of a mess.
Yeah, and for those Colts fans that are watching that have been around a little bit longer, you know what the down years
That's
are
a good
like.
point.
You know, those 80s and those early 90s, those were some bad football teams. But we have a younger generation that they really don't know what it's like to see a Colts football team below 500 with a full complement of players for the most part. Manning was 3-13 his rookie season. They had a 6-10 year a couple of years later. Edgerrin James was lost for the season that particular year, and that led to them having a down year. But other than that, we're talking 10, 11, 12 wins a season. Sometimes there was a 13-win season sprinkled in there. You have a down year when Peyton Manning was hurt in 2011. You get Andrew Luck, and then all of a sudden you win in 10 games a year.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game a year ago. Again, down year last year, but you lost Andrew Luck. So to see a full complement of players and the team playing this poorly, this is not something Colts fans are used to, and that's one of the real reasons why they have pitchforks out. They want to see a complete shift.
Hashtag Irsay retire. Michael. Wade Moss. Hashtag Irsay retire. That's solid. David just chiming in on this one. You think the Michigan coach would come back to the NFL? Who happens to be the coach at Michigan?
We keep seeing the same names come up.
Right. Here's the thing. The Michigan coach is making probably 4 or 5 times the money he makes with an NFL job in Michigan. Harbaugh's on his way to being a $10 million a year guy up there.
And he's not getting fired.
And he's doing just fine.
Has security out there, security that you're not getting in the you won't get in the National Football League.
He's going to be just fine right there. So nice ideas all around. People are all sorts of ideas on this, and there's a few guys out there that you could point to pretty quickly. But this isn't This team, particularly going back to where the conversation started, is not one to make knee-jerk reactions. That's why the coach and the GM are still here.
Yeah, and the emotion on that front. We'll see how that. I think emotion has played a big role in all of this.
Yeah.
Irsay really wants to see this thing work, and so despite a bad year a year ago, they clung to that "hey, Andrew Luck was hurt" excuse and brought these guys back tied at the hip. And we're seeing kind of the same old things with this group. There's a talent issue, obviously. There's a talent issue. We're seeing teams that are more talented week in and week out, and that's on Grigson, and we're also seeing Chuck Pagano get out-coached pretty much week in and week out, and that's a big-time problem.
Teresa's chiming in and says, Bill Cowher. I like that. That's interesting.
He's got a cushy seat.
Yeah.
He's got a cushy seat right now in the media. He's all right.
Michael Wade chimes right back in. He's got a CBS gig right now, so he's he's probably not doing anything. That's the same thing. We go back to Gruden. Gruden's name always keeps coming up. He's doing Monday Night Football right now, and he's just fine.
Yeah,
just fine doing that.
One thing, there are coaches who have that itch and want to get back into it, and then there's some guys, when they realize they enjoy not having the stress of having to prep every single hour of every single day. John Gruden was ridiculous in terms of his regimen, in terms of waking up early in the morning, watching game film. And he still does all of that. But no, he doesn't have to worry about losses on Sunday, so he's pretty happy where
Tony
he is.
Dungy is so content being on television right now. He was happy as a coach because he loves the game of football. But when you see him on Sunday Night Football now, Dungy is just, man, he flies up to New York on Sunday, does the thing, and he's in Tampa by the end of the night. He's home.
And I don't want to troll Colts fans on the whole Peyton Manning thing, but if you were debating which one, coach or GM seems a little bit more likely. And we've seen some guys. I'm not saying whether he'd be successful or not in that role, no matter where he ends up or what he decides to do. But one of the signs of a good general manager is a guy who pays attention to detail. And nobody, at least when he was quarterback in the NFL, nobody worked harder than Peyton for studying and doing his homework. And so that would be a role that I could see more so than being a coach.
That explains John Elway's success. That's a good analogy there. I think that's a large part of why Elway has been so good. And it's funny, he's not just so good at his offensive side. Denver's built a defensive powerhouse up there based on kind of just everybody getting on board with what the plan is right there. That's what's turned that into an elite team up there. Let's go inside the numbers from that game. 30-16, we kind of told you all about. That was the final score, but when you dig a little bit deeper into this, it's not hard to find out why that happened, particularly on the offensive side of the ball for the Colts, for that thing to get stalled and really just get essentially the one touchdown out of the day. There you go. Luck, of all the great games Luck's had this season, this was not one of them. And it was largely due in part to what we've seen before. That offensive line just got, I don't know, they looked worn out by the end. I made that point last night. By the fourth quarter, they were just getting beat.
And that's unfortunate. Yeah, we saw Denzel Good get knocked down a few times. Costanzo beaten. Wrights with the concussion, and he's still going through the concussion protocol. Jack Doyle, look, you know that the Kansas City Chiefs, you know that they are well coached.
They're good.
And they are going to game plan. They see Jack Doyle going off. They put together a game plan to try to take him out of the game. T.Y. Hilton, he seems to take himself out of games from time to time, although he has the hamstring that's been bothering him, and he only had one catch for 20 yards. But that 422 that the Kansas City Chiefs put up, look, we don't want to hear about excuses on the Colts side as far as injuries. The Chiefs were without Alex Smith for a good portion of the game. They were without Jamal Charles going in. They lost their backup Ware also in the game, lost an offensive lineman in the game, and still put up 422 yards in total offense. And so that's the whole excuse thing. You can't really go down that road when it comes to injuries. There are a lot of teams dealing with that. And they're still finding a way to succeed. So
you're 8 weeks in, and there are a lot of teams who are far better than 3 and 5 right now that are just as dinged up as some of the rest of them are right now. Teams get over 400 yards of total offense, you usually don't win those games. That's a pretty good observation there, Michael. Very nice. David chimes in. Jack is a beast. Jack Doyle's been very good, but KC is one of those teams that defensively, and you're going to see that on this second half of the season as well. There's some very good defenses on the second half of the schedule. Sunday coming up being one of them. Green Bay is not too shabby right now. They've been went up and down, but it's another team right there that can come in and give you problems because they game plan as well as they do.
Yeah, and for the Green Bay game, it's really obviously the offense that you really want to worry about with Aaron Rodgers. Their defense has been, hasn't been rock solid this season. They did give up a late score in a loss to the Atlanta Falcons yesterday, but the defense is what should. It's Halloween.
Yep.
That defense for the Colts is scary and not in a good way.
Scary bad.
Scary bad. And Aaron Rodgers is not going to take it easy on them next Sunday at all.
At Lambeau.
Yeah. So 3-5, staring 3-6 right in the face unless they have some sort of miraculous performance.
Yeah, and you're still looking at now 2 games out of the division lead at this point. You still got to play everybody in the division one more time, and Houston's got their act together right now to the point where they just might very well win 9 or 10 games. And listen, the math doesn't add up at a certain point. It just doesn't, and that's what you're going to run into. It was funny to hear some of the guys in the locker room yesterday. The question came up, and you mentioned this last night: is the season, are they out of time? Man, kind of, yeah. They're not going to fess up to that, but from us sitting here and you all watching out there, you know that, man. 5 losses goes to 6 or 7, and that just doesn't. You can't make it happen that way.
It'll be interesting to see what happens these next few weeks. Again, 8 games in, 8 games to go. Green Bay coming up. The schedule after that, again, is still unforgiving, and they're sticking to the script right now. They're sticking to the script right now. But if those losses continue to pile up, it'll be interesting to see how this locker room reacts. Last season, they didn't crack, but they had the crutch of, hey, we don't have number 12 out there. This season, they have pretty much a full right.
Damn near saved the season.
Exactly. This year, a full complement of players, for the most part, guys in and out due to injury, and they're playing this poorly. And so it'll be interesting to see whether they stick together. But as for right now, they're sticking together, saying all the right things, and they are begging the fans. Check out Edwin Jackson right here. They are begging the fans to not leave them.
We love you guys. We feed off you guys. It's amazing coming into a stadium and being with your brothers and then seeing the fans. They are our family. So just continue to support us. And if you ever feel like you're getting, scared, just take a deep breath, be patient, because we love you guys. We're going to fight for you guys. I love Indiana. My teammates feel the same way, and we love this organization, and we're out here fighting for you guys, and thanks for the support.
2 things. Number 1, producer Brady pointing out the hand sanitizer logo behind him. Wash your hands clean of this whole thing. Come on. Avis, Matt, help us out. Put him in front of the door when we're doing this on Monday. You guys need to steer him to the left a little bit. That'd be fine. Second thing is this. That's a nice little plea right there, but it's coming from Edwin Jackson. Now, if you had told me before we sat down and played that soundbite that guy was a linebacker for the Colts, I'm still questioning that. Is he one of our guys?
He's one of our guys.
What number does he wear?
He's out there, and he's flying around. He's just been given an opportunity to go out there and
play.
We haven't really seen him
playing hard.
Seen that much of
He
him.
whacked Smith yesterday and knocked him out the first time. I don't applaud that, but he hit him hard.
But they brought 3 guys out, and we'll play 4 guys out. We'll play some of the other guys.
I know
in
the
just
next
a
guy.
moment. But it's Edwin should not have been brought out. He has not been around enough to really comment on what's been going on with this football team. And God love him. He was incredibly optimistic and passionate.
Yep, absolutely. Somewhere at the lunch table back there on these Mondays after the losses, they've got all the guys that are either rookies or first-year guys that are new here.
Yeah.
They sit them down and they put playing cards out. Low cards got to go talk to the media. And here's your index card with bullet points of what to say. Go say something to thank the audience. It's like a NASCAR thing now. You got to thank Duralube, thank Napa, thank Pepsi, and thank these guys, but thank the fans for showing up, because that was a home game and you sucked at home yesterday. That's where this thing's going. All right.
That poor guy was thrown to the wolves.
All right, we've heard from the next guy who, the Colts, if there's one guy that's been steady through all this, at least from what I see within the locker room, we keep waiting for somebody to come up and get this team going. It might be DeQuell.
It might be. And he's an eternal optimist as well.
Yeah.
Kind of in the same vein as Chuck Pagano, where you almost want to say, are you seeing what we're seeing out there?
Yeah.
And so this is a narrative that we've really been talking about all season long, especially when you're talking about a football team that's 2 years removed from an AFC championship game, now 3-5. Is this team a bad football team, or is this a good football team that's playing badly? I think we know the answer to that right now. This is quite frankly a bad football team. 8 weeks in, they've been saying everything. Hey, we need to clean this up, 8 weeks in, they haven't cleaned anything up. That's a sign of a bad football team. But DeQuell Jackson said, no.
It's a good football team that's just keeps shooting themselves in the foot. Fortunate for me, I take the good with the bad. It's like it's not that bad. We want to win every game. We want to win every game, and it's disappointing that you don't win every game. You want to be perfect. You're not perfect every game. We're 3-5, and we're right in the middle of this thing. And to lose at home is not what we plan on doing. But we could be 0-8. We're not 0-8. Where if we correct some things here and there, if we don't, get penalties on 3rd and 7s when we're off the field, I can go on and on and on. But it's on the players. It's things that we feel like can be corrected. And once we do those things, these next 8 weeks are going to tell us who we are as a team. Right now, the first 8 weeks, I'm sure no one has been impressed by it, but these next 8 weeks are going to tell the true character of this team.
I love DeQuell Jackson. Great man, great football player. But listen, when your whole emphasis is, hey, at least we're not the Browns, that doesn't pass for me. Hey, at least we're not 0-8. I got to sit back and soak that one in for just a second. We've heard a lot of pretty good sound bites this season, most of which we just kind of brush off because they sound the same. We're saving that one. I'm hanging on. I might run that again on Thursday. Hey, at least we're not 0-8.
I could have thrown.
Wow, help me out here.
I could have thrown this clip in there, but I didn't. Again, I didn't think it was fair that Edwin Jackson was thrown out there, and he was doing his best to stay positive and sticking to the notes. DeQuell said, at least we're not 0-8. Edwin also said it's not that bad. I know teams that have 2 wins this season.
Yep, there are. There's a team out there with 1 win this season, and that's fine. And there are a lot of teams out there that, frankly, haven't looked very good, but somehow managed to go 4-4 or 5-3. That's what's interesting to me.
And Colts fans, you have to help me with this. I know that this franchise does not have the number of championships of a New England or the Pittsburgh or Green Bay, but this is still a proud franchise. And what you're hearing, at least we're not 0-8. At least, I know teams that have 2 wins on the season. That sounds like something you would hear out of a Cleveland Browns locker room.
Well, they used to say in Detroit.
Or a historically losing locker room.
Jacksonville.
And that's one of the reasons why you need I feel like you need a change in culture, because 3-5 isn't acceptable.
Nope.
You can't, by saying, we could be 0-8, that's almost saying, look, it's all right. 3-5 is okay. We're still in the thick of this thing.
This could be worse than it is.
No. You're trying to build something, and you have been building something for a while, that you're just kind of chipping away at that legacy right now with the way that this team is playing. And there needs to be a culture shift where you have people in place, top down, who say that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
That is not acceptable.
Yeah. Brady, I want to do this if we can. I'm talking to producer Brady in the back there. If you can pop a clip ID in for us, these people are going to be crazy at home. I want to grab sound from last night, 10:30, 1030X05. Should be Luck and Pagano from last night. I want to play that. I know. You produced the show. X05 from last night, 1030X05. I want to play Pagano and Luck from last night since I know I've got that on standby, because mostly for tone. For the sake of tone that we'll see out of this. We'll play through Jack, and we'll come back to that because I think I got the right one there. The tone that I got out of Andrew yesterday at the podium when he was done is frustration.
Yep.
Frankly, mad about what he's seeing out there, and I think he's got coming out of him now. Usually when we get Luck after the games, he's trying to be positive about the whole thing. It was very honest yesterday. And we'll hear from that. And it's a level of frustration that comes from a kid who's not used to being on a 3-5 team. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Win at Stanford, wins 10 games, 3 years when he comes out here. Last year was kind of out of his hands, but he's behind center now on a team that is got guys saying at least we're not 0-8.
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to catch up to him.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things where he really wasn't the problem early on. He was making some bad plays here or there, but the 3 games leading up to that Kansas City game, he was throwing for about 900 yards combined, about 6 or so touchdowns, and only 1 turnover.
Right.
So he was playing efficient football despite the fact that the team was playing inconsistently around him. And so now you're at home, you're trying to get back-to-back wins, the team around you continues to play poorly, and then Luck has his worst game of the season.
Yeah.
And that all just kind of came to a head as he came to the podium.
Yeah, if you guys have that one on standby, I'll keep an eye. Yeah, we're going to cue that one up, and let's get a look at a little bit of luck and a little bit of Coach Pagano. This is from post-game Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And I don't think we were sharp enough as a whole, for anybody to really have a good game. So it's a unit effort for Ty to have a good game, or Frank or Phil or Dante or myself. We understand that, and I don't think we all contribute enough for anybody to have a good game.
I'm not going to ever make an excuse, as far as injuries or lack of talent, lack of this, lack of that. Okay, it's on all of us. It starts with me, and you keep working, and that's how football is.
I like that he owned up to that. I haven't heard a lot of that from Pagano. It's on me. I don't know that I've heard a lot of that this season. But we go right back. He kept going. You keep working. You go watch the tape. Go back to practice. Okay, this is a 9th week of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what tape you're watching, and I know that's part of the process here. I can't sit on the couch right here and tell anybody how to do a gig like that, because that's part of the NFL deal. You sit down, you watch tape, you go study it, and then you practice that.
Yeah, I guess there are 2 schools of thought on that. One, you keep doing what you've been doing. You keep grinding, sticking to the script. You keep
chopping wood.
Yeah, we're gonna. This is who we are. We're gonna continue the same routine. That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is it's time to change some things up.
Yeah.
Time to change some things up. Time to get after these guys. And the feeling with Pagano was that he's just too soft with these guys, and not enough accountability, not enough discipline.
We're going to segue into this. I'm sorry. We have a preview monitor up here that we could see what's going on. And it's Halloween night, Horseplay here on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com and whatever you're doing here with us tonight. But what I do know is this, is that the Dave First household up there north of here has great candy every year. The man owns it on Halloween night. Look at this. Live from somewhere in Hamilton County. Ah! What I do know is this, is that the Dave First house.
Happy Halloween, kids.
Look at that. We're live. Hey, I'm double hearing us. Mute your phone or something. Oh, we're on a delay. Hi, look, it's the kids. You got the kids.
How's that? Is that any better?
That's good. Oh my goodness. I like this.
That's awesome.
There you go. Hey, can we get some introductions?
Happy Halloween. Yep, we've got Zach here. Zach. He is going as Luke Skywalker.
Oh, very nice. May the Force be with you, Zach. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get?
And then we have Lindsay here, and we have Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
And how would you describe your outfit today?
Glamorous.
May the Force be with you.
Glamour witches.
Glamorous witches.
Glamorous witches. Oh my. And hi, Jen. Hello. Happy Halloween.
Talented wife Jen, who puts all these things together.
Best Halloween in that part of town.
Well, the outfits. So we just got back. It's 8 o'clock, so now all the lights are shut down. How did we do, guys?
How did we do on the candy?
Awesome. Good.
Yeah. What's good? What's the best stuff you got?
We have a lot of candy.
But here's the thing, we've done this for the last essentially 9 years, 10 years. So we take the kids out, and so no one's in the house here to actually answer the doorbell when the other kids come.
Right.
So we do the whole routine where we put out the bucket.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Essentially 9
Yep.
years.
Yeah.
And,
Hey, Zach.
it's the honor system. We're just like, okay. Now, in the past, we've come back where this thing, where like even the bowl is gone. The kids take everything.
Yeah. Put the dollar bowl out there.
Look at this. This thing's like basically untouched.
What'd you put in there tonight? Anything good?
In the past, we got Twizzlers.
Yeah.
Like even the bowl is gone. Which we've got.
Tootsie Roll.
We've got Tootsie Roll.
Okay, that's solid. Reese cups.
Got some
What'd you put in there tonight?
Fruit chews.
Now, see.
Rainbow Twizzlers.
Rainbow
Twizzlers.
I think we're finding out why we still have a lot of this left.
Right, your candy selection isn't exactly grabbable. Reese cups.
Even I'm a little disappointed by the candy selection we have.
I am not a parent, and I don't do trick or treat at my place, but you got to have a chocolate element in there. Your candy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm more of a Reese's person.
Yes.
More of and,
Like a mini Twix, maybe. And I don't do trick or treat at my.
Do we have Twix in here?
Kit Kat bar.
We do have Twix.
We got Dave First live at the Dave First house with the kids on Halloween night. It's exciting.
I don't know. Anyway,
Go back to that.
All this,
Way more exciting.
all this stuff will be in my candy jar tomorrow. So when I
Oh,
come
well,
on
good.
station,
Everybody
we can
from the
have some.
newsroom can come to the office and raid Dave's desk for candy that nobody else wanted to eat. That's very nice.
Man, I feel kind of lame about this.
No,
but
it's okay.
It is what it is.
It's okay. No, we'll take it. It's all free. We'll take that. Hey, first of all, you got the Cubs hoodie on. You're still in it. You're still in it.
Well, that was the theme as everyone left last night. Is we're still alive. So.
Hey.
I don't know. After being up there 3 nights in a row watching this thing play out, I mean, game 4 Saturday night, that place was like a morgue.
Brutal.
There was no energy whatsoever.
Right.
And luckily they got the homer from Bryant, who maybe finally got off the schneid last night. That kind of gave it a little juice. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've been going to Wrigley for, I don't know, 30-some years or so. And
Which is amazing because you're only 29 years old. That's amazing.
That's right. They've got Gary Pressey, the organ.
Yep.
Great job. But it's just kind of like the music selection. He's playing like old 60s hits and stuff. It's just like, eh. And even like in between innings, they're playing stuff from Yacht Rock.
Yeah. Can I tell you what my favorite part is when they hit a home run at Wrigley, they play Whoop, There It Is, which was a hit in 1991.
Right.
That's their home run song. Now, I don't want to have to be the bearer of bad news, and I am not the hippest guy in the room by any means, but there have been better home run songs than that in the last 25 years.
Yeah, I'm completely on board. So the musical selection they have at Wrigley, I mean, and I'm not even sure how to put this, and this is going to come out politically incorrect, and I might get hammered for this.
Try it.
But Saturday night, in a crucial part of the ball game, they had the stand-up for cancer event where they encouraged everyone
They did.
to put names
it was like
on
the middle.
placards.
It was the middle of the 6th inning. Yeah. Of a 1-0 game.
And, I mean, the Cubs really needed some momentum. They really needed to do something at that point.
Yeah.
And they brought the whole house down with the stand-up for cancer. Now, God bless them. I mean, it's a great cause.
Yep. I'm on board.
I'm not, arguing that. But it's just like the worst timing award goes to Fox. Like, let's do this in between the 6th inning. What do you think, guys?
So close. So close.
So anyway.
All right. 30-16. Colts got it handed to them yesterday. I don't know. There's not a whole. What else do you want to chime in on this? I'm not impressed by what we're seeing out of the shoes right now.
Yeah. If you're a Colts fan,
they're just as
started early.
They're just as scary as the mask that is getting snuck in there by your kid on the on camera left. That's good. That's what the Colts look like right now, just like that.
It could be worse in the NFL. On Halloween night, they got the Bears on Monday Night Football, so things could always be worse.
Yes.
Nothing's more scary than the Bears right now.
Yeah, Chicago's got to be worn out by tonight. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
They're just getting into the candy now.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Hey, your kids are going to be on a great sugar high by 10 o'clock. It's going to be great. I am so glad we're getting to see this. Yep.
What have I hit there? Sorry.
There's the flip. Nope. Around back. There you go.
There we go.
That was a shot of the rest of your living room.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Colts go, I watched the game yesterday, and the common theme continues: turnovers, penalties.
Yeah.
No one's really taking ownership. They all say they all got to step up, but it's if we're at this point of the season, I don't think things are going to be changing anytime soon.
Grady got sound today from DeQuell Jackson. DeQuell's comment was, "Hey, at least we're not 0-8."
Jeez.
that was my favorite soundbite of the entire season, I think, in a nutshell.
At least we're not 0-8.
We're not 0-8.
Hey, at least we're not Cleveland.
Right.
That's great.
We're not the Browns. That's your T-shirt when they get back home in 3 weeks. At least we're not the Browns.
Oh man.
Hey, I was going to ask Grady this. And he could chime in. You too. The bye week coming up. If they lose at Green Bay on Sunday, is the bye week one of those times when you go do something big?
As far as making changes,
anything? Yeah.
I don't. I mean, maybe, but the question is, who do you put in the big chair?
I know.
If you make a change at the head coaching,
yeah.
I mean, Who's that guy?
I
don't think Philbin's the guy.
No. Chud?
Chud is.
I know.
I don't know. I think. But here's the stupid thing about all of this: as even though they're 3-5 now.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Right.
They're still. I know
it.
it's a cliche at this point. They're still in it in the AFC South.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, they're only 2 back, and they get to play everybody again. So I don't know. You're going to fall backwards into a 7-9 playoff spot.
Right. Exactly. 7-9 might win the AFC South, and not only. Let's take it a step further. Not only are you in the playoffs, you actually get to host a playoff game.
You get a home game. Man, that's old school NFC West kind of thing going on right there.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Anyway, greetings from the First household. Happy Halloween.
Well done.
And Michael, I'll be coming in because they want me to front the James Hinchcliffe piece at 11. So I'll see you in there at 11.
Oh, look at that. Hinch
You're still doing sports. I'm just coming anyway.
Yeah. Hinch is dancing as we speak. So big doings in that tonight. Looking forward to it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It looks like Sharna might be out for the rest of the season, if you will.
Well, she could have been a Colts DB at this point then. Out with injury. There you go. Huh. How ironic
Turn
is
an
that?
ankle.
All right. Good
out for the
times.
season.
All right. Bring your B team candy with you too. We'll filter through that, see what we can find.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Okay. Get your kids some NyQuil now. This is going to be a long night at the First house. Yep. There you go. Good job, Zach.
You guys wave goodbye.
Say bye. See Sid.
Say goodbye,
Here, Lindsay.
everybody.
All right, everybody. I know. Oh my goodness. There they go. All right.
See you guys.
That is going to end well. All right, Dave first and the kids. I got to savor that for a second. Wow. They did all the trick or treating, then came back. And listen, what was your go-to that you really like to see in the candy bag at the end of the night?
Candy bag. I'm a Reese's guy too.
Yeah,
we're the
chocolate and
Reese's
peanut butter.
Pieces or
Kit Kats.
yeah.
I really like Kit Kats.
Kit Kats.
You could eat a whole amount of Kit Kats, man. That's a good deal on that. Anything chocolate, Twizzlers, and Lane candy on that. He probably had like Smarties at the bottom of that bucket, and he didn't tell anyone. Jolly Ranchers, come on. It's the kind of thing old people hand out to you. Pull it out of your pocket when they've run out of everything else. That was the thing. My dad, when I was a kid, we had the cool house on the corner. We were the Halloween house. So we would go through we'd have a couple hundred trick-or-treaters in the span of a couple hours, but when you eventually ran out of everything, you were left with handing out like Starburst.
That's at the bottom. That's not bad for being at the bottom.
Blow pops and things like that, but it's not, you don't want to see that in your Halloween candy. Want chocolate?
Everybody has that.
Something at some point, like an Almond Joy wouldn't be too bad. Peppermint patties. All right. We could go on and on about this. We've gone way past our time. We have anybody else? Look, Jack Doyle's up there. We're going to put him on just because we got it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Jack only had 2 catches yesterday, but I'm looking up there. He's got a smile on his face. I want to see where this is going. All right. Let's just do it. Jack Doyle.
I don't know. If I knew, we wouldn't be having them, right? So it's just tough, man. It's frustrating, like we were talking about earlier. It's just finding that consistency because we know what we can do. It's just being able to do that, through 4 quarters or through a whole game, So we're just trying to search for it, and we will. We'll find it.
When you say you know what you can do, is that based off of stretches this season or past years?
Yeah, I think off stretches this season. I don't know how many. I don't think we have played a complete game. We've always had, and that's NFL. It's never going to be perfect, right? But we got the guys that we can figure this out, and we can hopefully complete a 4 quarters and play a complete game.
The only thing that would have made that better if someone pulled the fire alarm in the middle of that, right behind his head. That thing started going off right there. Jack's got to be frustrated because he's had some big games this season, and with Allen out, he's turned into the guy.
Yeah.
And he really, I think, has relished that role of being essentially the number 1 tight end with this team because he's fully capable of doing it.
Yeah.
But now he's in a situation on a game like yesterday where everybody knows he's the number 1 tight end, and now he's got to deal with double teams, and he's got to deal with some of the best defensives. They're putting their A guy on him. He's not going to get it easy.
Yeah, and that's the next step to really becoming that go-to guy.
Yeah.
You can surprise people,
Yep.
but when people start the game plan for you, are you still producing? And so that'll be something to keep an eye on. Either way, he's going to get paid this offseason.
Oh, yeah. No, big time. The Colts, a local kid doing well. Hopefully the Colts can do what they can to keep him here in an 84 because that's a great compliment to what Luck has.
Yeah.
Particularly when Allen gets back in the mix and you got both of those guys. I mean, Andrew can do what he wants to do with 2 tight ends like that. There's a lot of opportunities with that right there. I feel like we've run past this at this point. It doesn't really matter. We're going to Green Bay on Sunday with the Colts. We're not. We're going to watch it on TV because that's going to be a long trip up there to Lambeau. I don't know. What do you think?
Be a longer
I
game.
see that. Yeah. 4 o'clock, that's a 4:20 kick, I think. It's an afternoon start up there. So you get half of your Sunday to get yourself lubed up before you sit and watch the Colts and yell at the TV all on Sunday afternoon right there. The Packers coming off of that loss to the Falcons yesterday. They gave up a lot of points. Turns out the Falcons are really good, though. The Falcons were going to score a lot of points in that game. And Rodgers is Rodgers still.
Yeah.
He's going to come out and be big at home.
Yeah, and the Colts defense is the Colts defense. And so that's the problem.
Okay. Hey, you know what? 3-6, at least it's not 0-9.
That's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it, DeQuell.
Heading into the bye week. All right. We'll be back here in some form or fashion next Monday. I think I'm going to let First come back here and sit on the couch.
There you go.
You guys can draw that up. Or I don't know. I got to find another funny shirt to wear, I guess, next week. But anyway, aloha from Michael Grady, Dave First, and the Horseplay crew. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We'll be back next Monday. And join us Sunday on Sports Extra. He'll be here with highlights and a recap. And back to the Colts Complex on Wednesday for more of that this week. You know what the best part is? Pacers are home tomorrow night. Let's go watch Pacers play.
That's right, Lakers.
The Pacers have actually won a game in the last 10 days. That's one of those things. I don't know. We'll see you. Have a good week. Good night.